How does your wife feel about you being an artist? Is she supportive?
I mean, I've been an artist since I met her. So I was rapping since I was a kid. So when I met her, I was an artist, And so she kind of seen the whole process. I trust most of the people around me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's about what kind of person you are. You attract the same kind of people. You attract what you are. Whoever you are is what you're going to attract. So I feel like the people are kind of a representation of who you are. I'm the type of person, I try not to pay attention to lack. Because a lot of times, just human nature, we pay attention to lack. So you might got 100 comments that's positive and you got one that's negative. And that one negative comment make you have a bad attitude.
Yeah.
It's human nature, but it's also something that we should, as humans, we should think about. Because it's like, why am I just paying attention to the one negative comments, but it's 100 positive ones?
What's up, guys? It's Kelly is Lit. Welcome back to another episode of Spilling Wine. Today I have Issa, an artist from Atlanta.
What up,
How are
Kelly?
you?
I'm good. How you doing today?
I'm doing great.
That's what's up.
First thing I need to know, where are your eyes from? Because your eyes are incredible.
Thank you. I don't know. They kind of have jumped around my family. Neither one of my parents have them, but my aunt.
Really?
No, but my aunt, my mother's older sister, she has like hazel eyes.
Mm.
And then I heard that my grandmother had them on my father's side. So both of my parents like to take credit for it. But I don't know.
They're amazing.
They just kind of.
That's so sick.
Yeah.
Do people ask you if you're wearing contacts?
Yeah, people ask me that all the time. People ask me that since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like, do I have contacts in my eyes? No, it's not.
A lot of people ask
I do
me
have
that too.
contacts in though, but they're not color contacts.
A lot of people ask me that too because I have green eyes as well.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yours are sick.
People always want to, oh, what you mess with? What do you, all them questions and stuff like that.
Yeah. I love it. Do your kids have green eyes as well?
They got light eyes. A couple of them do. The newest one, the baby, she does have like light eyes. So we'll see, because sometimes they change over time. A lot of times they might come out, like all of them came out with light eyes. Then as they got older, it kind of went to where they darkened a little bit. So we just had to see.
And you said on a podcast that your wife got pregnant while on birth control.
Oh, that's crazy. So
How did that happen?
So you seen the clip already?
I saw that.
Man, it was a situation where she was on. I don't know why.
Was it the Depo shot?
No, it was not the Depo. It was
IUD?
It wasn't. Yeah, it was. It was like an IUD.
Wow, really?
Yeah, and those are like.
No way.
Yes. So you already know.
Yeah.
So basically, it's like almost impossible.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? For that,
it basically is.
it's basically impossible for that to happen, and because it's not like a shot or anything. It's like it's literally covering the whole uterus, so it's not supposed to. Somehow they say it's a less than 1% chance that it can happen. And that's what happened. So, it was like an emergency type of thing when we found out. Because I was like, there's no way you could be pregnant. She's like, I think I'm pregnant. I'm like, there's no way you could be pregnant. And she was like, no, I know how it feels. Because we had 4 other children.
Oh, wow.
So, she was having like a little morning sicknesses. I went to sleep that night. I ain't think nothing of it. Because I'm like, there's no way. And then I went to get a little test just to, just to see, Because she kept saying it. And it came back. And the test was positive. I'm like, how in the hell are you pregnant? And so it was just a crazy situation. We went to the hospital the next day. Well, we went to the doctor the next day. And then, of course, it's like an emergency because anything can happen in that situation.
Yeah.
The mother's health is at risk. The baby can grow in the wrong part of the body, or because it's not supposed to. So it's like a whole bunch of things. I forgot what kind of pregnancy they call it. It's like a certain kind of a pregnancy. It's like a high-risk pregnancy.
Yeah.
And so, when we found out, we went, and then the doctor told us it was basically a miracle because the child was exactly where she was supposed to be at.
Oh, wow.
And then the facility was like, we're going to do the best we can to bring the baby, because I didn't know what direction it was going to go in. Was we going to have to, use another direction, or maybe was she going to even make it to have the child? So, yeah. It ended up being a blessing.
Wow.
She
And
came
how
out,
old is your
she came
child
out
now?
healthy. She's 9 months now.
Oh,
I just got a video of her walking, taking a few steps. So
Oh, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
How does your wife feel about you being an artist? Is she supportive?
I mean, I've been an artist since I met her. So I was rapping since I was a kid. So when I met her, I was an artist, And so she's kind of seen the whole process and have seen the growth. She's seen different levels of it. Yeah, she's been in through the whole ride. So
Is she also in the creative industry?
In a different type of way. Not more. She's not really a person that like to be on camera and stuff. We're actually getting into some more print work because I'm doing more stuff with like the whole family,
Oh,
all the
wow.
children and stuff like that, doing little prints and commercial work. We just started getting into that, so she's getting more comfortable. You know what I'm saying, to do that kind of thing. But she's not really somebody who. She likes interior designing and stuff
Oh,
like
cool.
that.
That
She
is
went
really
to,
cool.
and she went to school for fashion. She went to the Art Institute in Atlanta, so she went to school for fashion.
Does she
She actually
style
do.
you?
No, well, she can.
I like your outfit. You look
Thank you.
fly.
She can style me, but she styles herself, and she just an interior designer too. Like she likes to decorate, So I wanted her to get more into that, but that's kind of the side of things that she's into.
And what made you get into music?
So I got into music when I was young. My dad, he's from out here actually. He's from the Bronx.
Oh, wow.
And he was a rapper. And when I was I guess about 8, 9 years old. One day they wrote a rap for me. I don't know what made them want me. I don't know if I asked him. I can't remember the exact scenario. And I just remember he had like an in-house studio. And I remember like it took me like 2 hours to do one verse because I had to keep punching in every line. And he showed me like how to rap. He showed me how to count bars, showed me how to set up punchlines. He showed me just everything. And after that, I had continued to rap. And then when I was like about 10 years old, I was still in DC at this time. There was this Bow Wow had a contest. It was like a Hawaiian punch contest. And everybody had to send a 16, like a 16 rapping about Hawaiian punch. And my mother, she's always been like super supportive too.
Yeah, that's great.
She sent we did a verse and then we sent it in. It was like thousands and thousands of submissions. And we won the whole contest.
wow.
And then I got to fly out to LA. I think that was my first time being to LA, if I'm not mistaken. And at the time, remember the Steve Harvey show?
Mm-hmm.
At the
I
time,
love
the
him.
Steve Harvey show was happening. So I went to meet Bow Wow and his dad at the Steve Harvey show.
Oh, no way.
And then they was like, y'all need to move to Atlanta. If y'all move to Atlanta, we could do something with him, And Jermaine Dupri's dad, not Bow Wow's dad, Jermaine Dupri's dad. I met Jermaine Dupri's dad and then Bow Wow backstage. There's a video on YouTube of me like a little kid, like 10 years old, meeting Bow Wow. And he just was like, man, you the next, I feel like you remind me of myself, you know what I'm saying, when I was your age. And he was just basically giving me my props and stuff.
That's so
and
cute.
yeah, so it was dope. So that was like big for me. And that's when that was like the beginning stages of me getting into rap. And then after that, I continued on. I started writing my own music. And because I had already understood the craft of it, because my dad had really trained me in understanding like how to set up a verse, how to structure a song and stuff like that, hook, verse, bridges. And, he just showed me the basics and the fundamentals of it. So, and he even used to have me, I remember waking up in the morning, he would write like 10 words down. And then he would have me to look in the dictionary and look the words up.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? So I can expand my vocabulary. And then he bought me at this, I remember my mother, one of them bought me at the Source, and then I had to learn how to use it, the Source. And so that got me into understanding wordplay. New York MCs are big on lyricism.
Yeah.
So I was raised on lyricism, and so that was real big for me. So when we moved to Atlanta a few years later. Maybe I was like 12. And me going down to Atlanta was a big deal because it's a big part of my sound as well. Because with me
I
being
hear the accent.
okay, you can hear it a little bit. Being from DC, my dad being from New York, I had the up north vibe and feeling and stuff like that. When I moved down to the South and, growing up in the South with the music that was going on down there, it bought me, and plus some of my favorite rappers are Southern as well. It kind of bought my cadence. I say my cadence is more Southern. So I have the ability to still have lyricism, but I can have like a Southern cadence. So I kind of got the best of both worlds when it comes to what made me up as an artist. And so that's just like in a nutshell.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like to walk you through like how I got to where I am now.
And I know you got signed at 15. So did that affect any of your friendships, any schooling that you did?
That's a good question. Did it affect? Well, actually, I did homeschool for a period of time. Maybe for, I think I want to say like a year I came out and I was homeschooling because I was moving around a lot. So my mother pulled me out and she did. My mother was always the type who, whatever needed to be done to get me there, she was actually my manager at one point.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, at one point she was like a momager. She was a manager.
Those are the best, though.
Yes. And there's pros and cons with that, but like, at this point in my career, I tell my mother, like, Ma, I'm going to be fine, because I don't want you to have to stress and worry about what it is I'm doing. She called me every 5 minutes, sent me a text every minute, continue to root me on. But I kind of removed my mother from being, like, in my business as far as the music side of things. Because in the industry, you're dealing with a lot of men and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you have a lot of men that you have to communicate with and stuff, like, it puts me in a vulnerable place. Because my mother's very straightforward. She says what she means. I've been in awkward conversations where she might have to tell somebody something, and then now I got to be, like, in the middle and kind of defend, but then at the same time, I just don't, for my own comfortability, I didn't want her to be involved anymore. So I kind of had that conversation, like, Ma.
Like, chill out.
No, I didn't take you. I just said she still oversees things. Like, if, for example, if it's a big deal or a contract or something, or she knows about everything. I don't have her taking business calls. I don't have her, in the middle of handling things for me anymore. She would do it in a heartbeat if I asked her, but it was my choice because I just want her to kind of just be a mom and just be supportive in that way.
Are you a shy person?
Nah, I'm not shy at all.
No.
Do you think I am?
I don't know. No, I think you're pretty outgoing. You're very well spoken.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Sometimes I can be reserved. If it depends, but with me being an artist and with me being who I am, it's like I don't know if you can be shy.
Do you think being an artist makes it harder for you to trust people around you?
Nah, it doesn't. I trust most of the people around me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's about what kind of person you are. You attract the same kind of people. You attract what you are. Whoever you are is what you're going to attract. So I feel like the people are kind of a representation of who you are. And everybody still has their flaws and stuff like that. We all got our different ways about ourselves. Of course, every person has their ways. But I see like a lot of characteristics in the people that's around me that's inside of myself. Yeah. And it's not like I went looking for people. It just kind of happened.
You attracted them.
Yeah, and naturally I come across these people. And I got good relationships with like everybody who I started with, even who I came into the game with, even people who I don't work with anymore that's not in my business or that's not a part of my team, I still have great relationships with them, and so
that's amazing.
I don't think it's hard to trust people because I think it's all based on your perspective.
Yeah.
I
know you have a lot of people that support you, but how do you deal with hate comments or haters, people that don't really support you?
I delete a comment in a heartbeat.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I don't even, or I just...
Do you read the comments?
Yeah, I read them. But I haven't had a moment yet, and I know it could come, where it's like a whole lot of hate comments. Or like, something makes it to like the shade room or something, and then people just don't like it. I haven't had one of those moments, but I'm sure it can happen because every artist ends up going through something like that.
Yeah.
I think for me, as long as I know what's the real situation, then I'll be able to work through it mentally. Because if I know that, like, the internet doesn't really know it. And I'm the type of person, I will go and explain something. So if something is not, if the wrong idea or the wrong perception is put out there, I don't have a problem with just making it known, like, this is what's going on. This is how that went, or, so.
Not even people from your hometown? Like old friends, maybe?
I don't be getting hate comments like that. Well, I get some. I do see some. I see a negative comment here and there about something, but it's more so just a negative comment. I don't think it's like hate comments. Just something. Somebody might say something negative, like this or they. But everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Everybody not gonna like everything. But you see, I'm the type of person I try not to pay attention to lack. Because a lot of times, just human nature, we pay attention to lack. So you might got 100 comments that's positive when you got one that's negative. And that one negative comment make you have a bad attitude.
Yeah.
It's human nature, but it's also something that we should, as humans, we should think about. Because it's like, why am I just paying attention to the one negative comments, but it's 100 positive ones?
Exactly.
That means you're paying attention to the lack. Right. You know what I'm saying? You're not paying attention to the bigger picture. So I try not to think about like it's like if I put something out, I had a conversation with somebody one time, and it's like if 100 people repost it, but then it's like you look at one of your friends and they didn't repost it, see, that might make you feel some type of way. You'll be like, well, why you ain't post my thing? And I'm like, well, what about the other 100 people? So I changed my mind just about the way I look at certain things.
I love that mindset. I love that.
I think it makes it easier. You have less confusion. You have less conflict and stuff like that. Because if you think about what somebody not doing, it's always gonna find lack in the world. It's always gonna be something
You're
missing.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So
You're right.
yeah.
Okay, I do have a question for you.
Okay.
Team Drake or Team Kendrick?
Kendrick.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. I think Drake's dope. He made great music, and we can't hate on Drake because he's carried us a long way, and he's made some great music, some great albums. If Drake drop an album today, I'ma still listen to it. I'ma still find some songs I like. Kendrick, what he stands for, and what he just did to me, how strategic it was, how surgical, like how well put together his campaign was, and just how he just came out and just took the crown. I love it. I love
love
Kendrick.
Drake, so
I could tell when I answered that and how you just looked away.
honestly, I think his lyrics are so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I just love him, but I think Kendrick's cool too.
I love Drake too.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He's dope,
Amazing.
but Kendrick is the king though. He's the king right now.
I respect that.
Yeah, he's the king. Like he took it. Like even people that don't know, that don't like Kendrick, you gotta understand what just happened.
He had his come up.
Yeah, and then it's like you can't be mad because Kendrick was kind of taunting him, and Drake was kind of taunting him.
Yeah,
he was calling him short, like hurry up and drop, and you ain't gonna drop. You know what I'm saying? You got a size 8 foot. Like the first diss song. If you go back and listen to the first diss song that Drake dropped, it's gonna put it into perspective
messy.
for
Drake
you.
is messy.
It puts it into perspective. It make you not feel bad for him because like, bro, you really was trying to bully, bro. He was trying to bully Kendrick for real. And he was like, man, you ain't gonna drop. You scared to drop.
He's messy.
And then Kendrick came back and bodied it. Like, bro, like what? It's kind of like when the bully gets beat up in school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like that moment in the movie when the bully get, you know what I'm saying? Like when Debo fall.
I get it.
Like, dang.
I get it.
That was that moment right there. Like David and Goliath. Because Drake is like the biggest. You know what I'm saying? I don't think people, I ain't gonna lie. I didn't even expect it to play out the way it did. I didn't know it was gonna go like that. At first, I'm like, Drake got it. He got the upper hand on this one. But once again, Drake is still dope.
Do you think they have real beef?
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's definitely real. You ain't hear the stuff they were saying about each other?
Yeah, when he called Drake a pedophile, that was crazy.
Yeah, you ain't hear what he said about Kendrick, though? See, people be skipping over that, though. You know what I'm saying? He was saying some stuff about him, like personal stuff. You know what I'm saying? About his family, talking about this man's wife and stuff like, man,
oh my God.
that was real. So,
yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I'm definitely saying Kendrick for sure. But I still think Drake is super dope. And Drake is like, you know, somebody we needed, you know what I'm saying, in the culture for sure.
Love him. But I was watching your Instagram live, I think yesterday, and you were saying that everyone deserves equal opportunity. So what advice would you give to somebody who wants to make it in the industry but doesn't have the resources?
That's a good question. I think that everything you need is around you. Like, you just have to be resourceful yourself. Me and my brother were just talking about this earlier, how you have to use the resources that you have. God to put certain resources and you don't know how far it can go. You know, a lot of people think you need this and that or you need a big budget, which is true. A big budget can help move the needle a lot. But at the same time, you can also do it with what you have, you know, and the team of people that's around you. And, you know, you got the internet, you got camera phones, you got... So everybody shoots videos now. Videographers all over the place, you know what I'm saying, that you can save a certain amount, put towards something you can save up, put towards your craft, studio time, whatever it is that you need without having to do a whole lot.
For sure.
So I think that,
Yeah.
I think that there's no such thing as nobody having to what was the question again? What would you say?
If they want to make it in the industry, but they don't necessarily have the resources.
I think that everybody has the resources at this point in time. You got like kids in the middle of Africa getting discovered and blowing up on TikTok from dances that they're doing and stuff like that. Yeah. And these are people, you talking about people that have nothing out there. But the internet has opened it up to where now everybody's talent can be discovered and seen. Everybody's the gift that God gave everybody can now be put on Front Street. So it's like, it's a beautiful thing in a way.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the first big purchase that you made when you started making money as an artist?
I did. I bought a truck. My money, I just kind of spread it out with everybody. It wasn't like a big purchase. I didn't buy like a chain or some jewelry. I did a little bit of shopping. I didn't make any big purchases yet. I bought a truck with so.
If you could buy anything,
a family
what would
vehicle
it
at that. If I could buy anything, what would it be? I'm gonna buy some land.
You're smart.
Mm-hmm. Buy a compound, and then after I, establish my own land, I would want to, buy some land around the world in different places that I like, that I might want to stay for some time. I definitely want to buy some land in Jamaica. That's where my father's from.
Oh, you're from
my
Jamaica?
biological father is from Jamaica.
Wow.
So I want to buy.
It's beautiful there.
Yeah, beautiful. It's like, they call it like paradise out there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I bought some land for sure. And then I built a whole lot of houses on it. You know, make like my own community type thing.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be
Issa land?
Something like that.
Yeah. Any upcoming projects that you're excited to be?
I'm excited. Out? Yes, I'm dropping volume 3. So I started a series last year called I Am. And I dropped volume 1 and I dropped volume 2. I dropped them in 2024. So volume 3, I was supposed to drop it at the end of the year last year, but I'm just building up the anticipation for it.
Okay.
And I'm just dropping singles right now.
Smart.
But volume 3 is coming out this year, maybe fall time. Maybe around my birthday I drop volume 3. I'm excited about that. I think that one's going to catch and grab everybody's attention, and it's going to make people go back to the first 2 volumes. Because it's like, if you get on to me on volume 3, it's like it's going to make you, I got to go back a little bit. So it's going to make you have to tap in with volume 1 and volume 2. So that's why I did it like that on purpose. So I'm excited about that project. It's going to be some great music on it, and we're just going to keep on going up. You know?
That's amazing.
Yes.
What about modeling? You're still doing that?
Yeah, I'm just starting to get back into it. I kind of was shying away from it for a long period of time. I just wanted to be known for what I wanted to be known for.
Yeah.
And that was my own personal thing. I was like, no, I'm a rapper. I want to do this. And I don't want people to look at me like I'm this, or paint this image of me as a model or some type of sex symbol or something like that.
Right.
And that's what they try to do. So even when I'm modeling stuff now, like, you're not going to see me doing no boxer
Calvin Klein.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
And they tried, to push me into that kind of, where I'm like, I'm not going to do that type of thing.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do more fashion.
Right.
Runway type work.
Gucci or something.
Yeah, we'll do that.
What's your favorite designer brand?
I'm not even big on designer. This is not designer right here.
Oh, wow.
Somebody made this. Shout out to Reese Alexander. He's a designer back home in Atlanta. It's my brother. I work with him a whole lot. He always does clothes for me. When I go on the road, he put, fits together.
Amazing.
It probably look like it's like Gucci or something like that. Yeah, nah, he sold this himself. He made this himself. And yeah, Reese is super dope.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. So I'm also big on connecting with designers, smaller designers. I don't think I ever went in the Gucci store and bought Gucci or Louis and stuff like that. I'm not into those big name brands and stuff like that. I feel like fashion is fashion. I like to work with smaller fashion designers, black-owned fashion designers and stuff like that. People that's like making their stuff from scratch. I can collaborate with. Sometimes I give tips on how I want the clothes to look and stuff. And yeah, I would rather do it. And that's not going to change throughout my whole career, no matter how rich I'm going to get. I'm not going to be that guy that's going to go and spend hundreds of thousands on designer. I'd rather start a clothing line or help somebody else build their clothing line from the ground up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this is not a design.
That's really amazing.
This is designer, but it's Reese Alexander.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
If you weren't in the entertainment industry, what would you be doing right now?
That's a good question. That's something I have to think about. What would I be doing? I would probably be some sort of a teacher, not in the sense of like a school teacher, but I would be somebody who teaches knowledge or something like that. I might be somebody who might travel the world, and I definitely would travel and do some type of teaching. I think so.
Would you ever teach music?
Not music. It wouldn't be music. It'll be like, I might be like history or something.
History?
Like ancient history.
Really?
Yeah, I love history.
Wow.
And reading and stuff like that. So
That's cool.
I might do something. It might be like some sort of profession that I would take on in another life. I could see myself being like some type of, like a master teacher of some sort.
That's cool.
Yeah.
When you make music, do you write the lyrics first or do you find the beat first?
Both ways.
Both?
Yeah, because sometimes the music comes to me in the middle of the night, or sometimes throughout the day, lyrics might come to me or a melody, and there's no beat there. And I will go to the studio maybe, and then the producer that I'm working with, I can share it with them. I made a record like that recently. I share the lyrics with them, and then they create the beat around the lyrics. there are other times where we go and we already have the beat. A lot of times the beat is already done, and then I catch the vibe based off the beat. So I write. There's no specific way that I write. Now a lot of people have a specific way. They're like, they have to write this way, or they need this, or they need this type of environment in order to write. People need to set their environments up, and it's not like that for me. It's like anywhere at any time, I can write music. I don't even need a beat. Or it could be a lot of noise. It could be a lot of people talking, and I can still focus, and I can still like come up with lyrics. So yeah, that's how it is. Yeah, that's how it is for me. Sometimes I write, sometimes I don't write. Sometimes I actually write it down. Sometimes I just go in there and it comes out.
Do you freestyle?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Ooh. Sometimes it comes out and I freestyle it.
That's cool.
And I'll punch it, and you know what a punch is, like line by line. Mm-hmm. And I just keep like flowing with it based off of the vibe. Because some stuff, it's hard to write sometimes when you just in the moment of and you, like tuned in with the beat.
Yeah.
I've tried that. I'm like, well, let me try to write it. And I'm like, nah, I'm just going and do it straight through. So.
How do you deal with creative block?
I don't deal with creative block.
Really?
No.
So you can just literally, okay, right now, write a song?
Yes, right now.
No way.
Yeah, I don't plan on going through no creative blocks no time soon. I ain't even about to speak that.
That's
but
cool.
I don't have those. I might have moments where I don't write for a while. I take breaks in writing because I want to give myself time to live life.
Yeah.
Experience new things, experience a new emotion, go through something that makes me have to write about it. So I take breaks. I might go 3 months without writing a song. Or writing a verse. That's actually probably the longest period I've been without writing. It's like, that's a little bit, maybe too much. That's a little extensive. And then I feel like I need to do something. I'm like, man, let me jump back in there. I might feel like, man, I'm gonna get rusty. As soon as I record or I start to write the music, I'm like, oh no, I ain't lost. I ain't
the
lost. The
talent will always be there.
Yeah, I think so.
What do you like to do when you're not making music?
Man, I go to the gym.
Oh, you do?
I cook. I love to cook. Of course, I'm a family man, so it's like,
of course,
all the things that consist of being a father and husband and all that kind of stuff is cool. That's what I'm doing when I'm not making music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
If you could swap lives with any artist, who would it be?
They have to be alive, right?
No. Who's your favorite artist?
I wouldn't want to swap lives with my favorite artist.
Who, Lil Wayne?
No, I wouldn't want to swap lives with Wayne. I love Wayne. I wouldn't want to swap lives with Wayne. I think maybe Ye would be a good person because the influence and outreach that he has, I always see myself being a billionaire.
Yeah.
But doing the right thing when you do get it, though.
Right.
And understanding what kind of power that comes with and how to use your power and make sure you don't abuse it and make sure that you properly using the influence correctly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's a number of things that can kind of go wrong or a number of things that can traumatize you on the way to that billion. Everybody's life, we have trauma. Everybody's going through different things. And so if you don't properly deal with it, then it's going to spew out. It's going to end up coming out. And then sometimes as artists, we end up seeing what's going on in people's heads.
Yeah.
But we all go through similar things, but it's just not on Front Street, The everyday person might go through the same thing, but a celebrity, because they got cameras in their face, we kind of see them go through this stuff. So,
all right.
Yeah. So I'm big on making sure that when I do get to that level that I'm going to be at, that mentally I'm okay. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Yeah, so that's why my perspective needs to be correct now before I go into that. Because if you go into it with the wrong perspective, this game going to mess you up.
Yeah.
This industry will mess you up. So.
Do you think Kanye is cloned?
No, I don't think he's cloned.
You think he's just going crazy?
Kanye's being Kanye,
Yeah.
Like I said, we all have mentally things that we go through. All right, for example, we all have intrusive thoughts, right? Mm-hmm. And I just learned what an intrusive thought is. And people say, basically the only difference between us and Kanye is he allows his intrusive thoughts to take over.
He does.
And then he just says them out loud.
Mm-hmm.
But we all have crazy thoughts, though. Right. You know what I'm saying? Now, some of us might have more control where we like, I'm not going to say that out loud. Or you might have, you can control, or you can, when you think about something that you know is not right, you could just be like, okay, well, I know that that's not right thinking, and then you can correct your thinking. Yeah. But what about somebody that doesn't do that? You know what I'm saying? Every one of those intrusive thoughts, it ends up just coming out. And I just think that's what we're seeing. And that's not a judgment, because like I say, I can notice things going on in humans, and we all kind of have similarities. We all got a piece of it. So as soon as you judge somebody, it's like you got a little bit of that in you. You just might be able to control it a little bit better. Right. You know what I'm saying? So
right. That's a good way to look at it. Yeah. Anything else you would like to add?
No, I got a new single out. Have you heard the new record? 100 Ways.
I got 100 ways to lay insecurities, keeping your guard up, your guard down, knocking down the walls that's keeping me from you. I just need the keys to make you a woman. I just need you, make you my woman.
I love that song.
I know I'm not here to talk about music.
I love that song. You like it? I love that song.
Thank you so much. So
Can you sing? Chris?
So I harmonize. You want me to do it live? Like the record? 100 Ways to Lay. Do you know the song?
Yeah.
We gotta play it. We gotta play the video.
Of course I know the song.
So
I really like it.
Thank you so much. So we pushing that record right now. You know, I've been out here since Thursday, just moving around. And I'm having fun. I feel refreshed. I'm glad to be here. And glad to be back out here in New York. Like I said, I came traveling to New York since I was a kid.
You like it here?
Yeah, I love New York. I always have loved New York. You know, the hustle and bustle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The city that never sleeps. And it's just always a vibe when I come out here. And I usually come out here when it's super cold. Like, I just remember as a child when I would come, it would always be cold for some reason, like freezing cold.
Yeah.
But it's not that cold. Like, that's what I'm saying. This right here for New York is not cold. You know, so it's not bad. Moving around New York when it's not cold is pretty dope. Yeah. And then they didn't legalize weed and stuff like that. That's pretty cool too. So you just see
it's still illegal in Atlanta?
Nah, it's not legal in Atlanta. We still down south, but it's cool because you see people just on the streets.
Yeah, everywhere. Yeah.
I was like, man, that's crazy. Yeah. But I think it kind of brings a different vibe to the city too. It makes it a little more peaceful. Yeah. To me, you know what I'm saying? Less because New York it's so highly aggressive energy. Coming from New York. It is. You know, so I think with the weed being legal, it makes that energy. It loves everyone. It makes the New York energy calm down. You know how are you from New York?
I am.
Okay, so
everyone's mean here.
Yeah, nobody says good morning and stuff like that. Everybody's honking at each other, cursing each other out. And it's funny to analyze, you know what I'm saying? And so, but it's the energy of the city. It's because everybody's trying to get somewhere. You know what I'm saying? We all like it's like the rat race. So everybody's trying to hurry up and do something. Yep. And down south, so with me living down south, I kind of see the difference because it's like way more laid back. It's chill. You know, you got something called Southern hospitality down there and stuff like that. But I can appreciate both states of mind, you know, so I can appreciate New York state of mind as well. So it's cool. I love New York.
Do you feel like it's harder to make it in Atlanta versus New York?
No, I don't think so. I think wherever you go, it's going to be challenges. Yeah. It don't matter where you go. Atlanta's another city similar to New York in a way that a lot of people go. It's like they call it the Black Hollywood. So a lot of people are going there because the music scene, of course, the last 10 to 15 years, Atlanta has like run the music scene. At one point in time, it was New York, and it's Atlanta now. It's going to different places. LA is another one of those cities. So anywhere you go, you're gonna have challenges, you know. Right. So I don't think it's harder. I wouldn't say it's harder. I think that now it's like you don't even have to leave your home state. A lot of times you used to have to go to the big city to chase your dream, or you had to move somewhere. Now because we have the internet, it's like you can make it anywhere. Yeah, it don't matter. You could be in Minnesota, right? You know what I'm saying, and then you could be an artist from there, and then blow up. Because you put a record out, so it's cool.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Yeah. Make sure you guys follow Issa, tune in to his music. Follow us, of course. Like, comment, subscribe. Listen on Spotify. Rate us 5 stars. Shop the merch. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
Thank you.
Bye. Yeah.